Yeah, now go.
Go.
Make my shy. Go to the bathroom.
Cut.
Please now. Just for start. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. Thank you all so much for stopping by today. If you're new to my channel, I do have a lot of new subscribers. I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm so glad that you're part of my family. I hope you stick around. Thank you so much. So today we'll be talking about the stigma concerning C-section. So a few weeks ago, I did my labor and delivery story, and at the end, I talked about, about C-section a little bit, but then I removed it. I'm like, this should be another video because the stigma behind C-section, mostly back home, it's something else. It's alarming, it's irritating. So I thought I should talk about my experience and how some people stigmatize me for having C-section. Please, if you want to hear what I have to say, definitely keep on watching. So I'm going to start by saying, you guys know that I had an emergency C-section due to a failed induction, and when they came and said, oh, it will be best for you to have a C-section, Prince called my parents. My parents were scared. Of course, they don't know much about C-section. I remember my dad saying Prince should give me the phone. I could not talk. I had the oxygen marks on my nose and my mouth. So I couldn't talk well. It was like, I can remember him saying, can't I try and push? I said, no, I can't. I'm so tired. I can't push. I've been in labor more than 23 hours at this point. Like, I can't try and push. So they said, so, okay. They just said, okay, I should go on with a C-section. Okay, I gave birth, and C-section takes like few minutes, less than 10 minutes. If you know you've done C-section before, immediately the baby came out and Prince told them. My mom was like, oh, that quick? They did not know that C-section actually takes that quick, and I don't really blame them. So this is where the problem starts. Most people that called me from Nigeria, mainly from Nigeria, they said they'll congratulate me, obviously, and they'll say, oh, did you do it yourself or you had a operation? They call it operation. I'm like, I had a C-section, which is the operation. And it's just like, why do you need to ask if I did it myself? If me and the baby is fine? I feel like the main question that you're meant to ask a lady that just delivered is, how was your delivery, and hope you and the baby are fine. Then move on. You don't need to go and ask, did you do it? People will say, do you do it normally? Like, is C-section abnormal? I don't really understand that question, but trust me, 70% of people that called me from back home asked me that question. And I remember telling Prince that I don't know why people are asking me, did I do it? Of course, I did not shy away from the truth. I had a C-section. Doesn't mean that I'm not strong. Doesn't mean that I'm not part of the Hebrew women in the Bible. There are some conditions. You don't know what somebody is going through that made them add a C-section. There are some conditions that will make you, go through C-section, unless you want to have an elective C-section by yourself. Like mine now, I had a very long labor and the baby was already in distress. So would that allow my baby to be in distress other than taking, like, having a C-section to take out the baby? Of course not. I took out the baby as soon as I can because the baby was already in distress. The heartbeat was going down. If you've seen my labor and delivery story, you must have seen that. And it's just like the stigma behind C-section is just like, wow. So some people think if you have a C-section, you're not part of the Hebrew women in the Bible. What's the Hebrew women in the Bible is basically the midwife telling Pharaoh that the Hebrew woman is not like the Egyptian women. They give birth before the midwives come. If you give birth before the midwife come, good. Like, it's good for you. Every lady, I'm sure nobody, unless you want to have C-section, every lady like to have like a natural birth. But if you can't, why not? Don't go and I remember one time Prince told me that somebody that he knows, like the husband did not want the wife to have a C-section. including the baby, they all died. Like both of them died because they don't want her to have a C-section. They want her to be like the Hebrew woman in the Bible. Another condition that can make a woman have a C-section is a breech position, like breech position of the baby. The baby's head up. Usually, the baby should be head down towards the third trimester. Imagine if your baby still head up. You can't push out. Are you gonna push out with the leg? No, you can't push out with the leg. You need to have a C-section to bring out the baby. Maybe even the lady has like underlying conditions that can make her push, or that can make her have vaginal delivery. She can have C-section. So what I'm trying to say is, you don't know what somebody is going through that made them have C-section, and it's not even a decent question to ask at first when a lady gives birth. It's better for you to ask, how are you, and hope you and the baby are fine. That's like the most important thing to ask. And moreover, if the child grow up, or if the child is now an adult, succeed in life, they don't write it on the head, oh, this child is born with C-section, no, or this child is born with vaginal delivery. No, it's not written on the forehead. Or is it? I can see it. You can tell if my mommy gave birth to me, through vaginal delivery or through section. The same as Ryan, you can't tell if he was giving birth through vaginal delivery or C-section, so you can't really tell. So it doesn't really matter what route you went to. If the medical professionals or the doctor or your midwife advise you to go to through C-section, I think, in my opinion, you should go for it, because they know what they see that they're advising you to go for C-section. But if anything, you can always research about it. If you can tell them to give you a little bit of time, research about C-section, look at the side effect, and look at other things that come to C-section. I think that one is better before you just outrightly make up your mind that, no, I'm not having a C-section, no, I'm going to deliver vaginally. Do your research and you'll be good. The only thing I was concerned with when they said I was gonna have a C-section is keloid, because I don't think we have a family. Keloid can be inherited. If inherited, if you don't know, my sister's son has keloid, so none of us in our family, like immediate family, has developed keloid over the time. So I was concerned about keloid, and that was the only question that I asked. If you don't know, I'm a medical student, so I know a little bit about C-section. I know a little bit about C-section. So the point they were even telling me to have C-section, I was tired, guys. I was so tired. I was ready to do anything to get the baby out. And let me tell you, either you give birth vaginally or you give a via C-section, you still have a tear. 90% of people that give birth vaginally, they have episiotomy. Episiotomy is like episiotomy is cut that they get through your vagina. Some people, I saw this girl on YouTube, she had a complete or stage 3 episiotomy. It was cut from her vagina down to her anus, because the baby, like, she needed space. The baby's head was so big. So either you have a vaginal delivery or you had a C-section, you still have a cut. It's all the same. And me, will I consider a C-section again? Yes, I will. I will consider a C-section again, because I already had like my tummy cut. I don't want to go back for VBAC, which stands for vagina birth after C-section. No, I don't want to go back for it. That means I'm having 2 places cut already. So I swear have C-section again if I'm gonna when I have my other kids. It's those days that you can see the stitches of your C-section. Like, I can't even see the stitch of my C-section, and the line is so thin. Of course I can show you guys. The line is so it's so small. Like, sometimes I just imagine, like, did my baby actually come out of that line or the cutting? And let me just tell you that this cutting is a receipt that you're a warrior, you carry the baby, you deliver a baby. So even when you see that scar, even if you have the keloid or your cut is visible or it's not visible, it's a receipt. It's just like my mom used to say, when you go to a restaurant or a booker, they will give you toothpick. That's a receipt that you went to Mama Risi or Mama Rita or Mama Titi restaurant. So that your cut is a receipt that you carry the baby, that you deliver the human being. Don't be too harsh on yourself. And the side effects of C-section, one is itchy skin. I didn't really get itchy skin. Most of the side effects I did not get, but make sure you do your research well. Most C-section they do now, the stitches are dissolvable. They dissolve into your skin, like you can't even see it. I think the only major difference between having a C-section and a vaginal delivery is the period of healing after you give birth. Vaginal delivery, I don't know, but one of my friends told me that you recover really fast, but with C-section, you know, you get a lot of pain, you know, and all those things. And even me, if you know me, I do not like taking tablets. I do not like swallowing drug, but I had to swallow drug during that period because without that drug, I was in a little bit of pain. Not a little bit, I was in so much pain, mostly in the evening. So I kind of take tablets in the evening, and you know, I was the only one trying to take care of my baby. Prince would go to work, so I had to do anything to relax. But the good thing is Prince was around all this time. I was only focused on taking care of my baby, was helping me as much as he could with the whole kitchen, no, like cooking and everything. We were ordering food. We order like large tray of food just to make everything easier for me. So I'm kind of advising you, if you do have a C-section, take it easy on yourself. Don't lift up anything heavier than your baby, so that those stitches don't separate and you have to go in for another stitching, and you don't know there's risk of infection if the stitches get destroyed or get separated, you know. So take it easy on yourself. Do what you can do. What you cannot do, just leave it for anybody in the house that can do it. And also, please take tablets if you want. Take tablets to make the pain easier for you. I think that's all I have to say concerning this C-section thing. If I have anything else, I will leave it in the comment section, and I'm gonna pin it so that you can see. And one other point I want to ask is, when you're pregnant, as in, I think having a C-section or chances of having a C-section should be one of those things that you discuss with your partner. Your partner should not be like, oh, you have to give birth naturally. My mother gave birth to us naturally and she has 7 kids. Am I your mother? Am I your mother? Did your mother have the same thing as me? Is me and your mother with the same thing? So I would do advise you discuss with your partner if it's an option. If anything, you have to have a C-section, discuss with your partner. Make sure you guys are on the same page concerning C-section. And yeah, that's all I have to say. Don't forget to make your research. It's very important to make your research. And yeah, if you've had C-section before, let me know your experience down below. And also, were you stigmatized, or were you spoken to differently because you have a C-section? Did people see you as a different person? Look at my baby, it's all grown. You can't tell if he had this, if I gave birth to him through a C-section. What matters is he's healthy and he's alive and he's good, and I'm good, you know. That's all that matters. Thank you so much for watching. If you do benefit from this video, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment down below what you think as well, and subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed. Thank you so much for watching. Stay blessed and stay safe, and God bless. Bye guys. Bye.